on board with Danny. He's the first out in quali. As you can see, sunset, qualifying quite dark conditions. It is the Hot Wheels Mercedes that is first to do a hot lap. We've been having a couple of little technical issues trying to get the stream started. Hopefully it stays up this time. It's not being happy. But I think we're good now. I'm just making sure. I think if it does drop at any moment, I think the servers are having some issues. So I'm just trying to make sure everything is working as it should. This is Danny, who is first on a lap. He's into the Sachs curve. Now a corner famous for Sebastian Vettel in 2018. More than anything else. But we'll see what time Danny can set on his first time around. Sets a 1:39.7. And now it's just a case of what can everyone else do. JR's only at the hairpin. Try and find someone coming around the final corner. There's Marty. Pren's on a 39.8. Schwantz with a 39.4. Times are coming in. Is Marty on a lap? Yes, he goes quickest, 38.7. Who's gonna be next? Slicker. And Archie's popped himself in third. Archie after his brilliant podium last time out of Rabuna. As Vuntz just crossed the line, he goes P6. Kart goes 5th. Mr. Kakzalski, I think that's one of the Lamborghinis ahead of him. So it might be JR. Because we've been worrying about technical issues for the first few minutes. Not sure who's quite on laps yet. I imagine JR is. By his feel he might not be. He goes second, 39.3. Well, Mr. Kakzalski, he was on and... oh no, he got his lap invalidated. Car in a good bit of fuel, so I guess the plan is just to run around. Berno is back, so he will get a time in. Chicano puts himself 8th, a race winner from last time out. After being caught up in that first corner, or sorry, second corner collision. He came back to win the race spectacularly. Danny's improved to second, Spence has gone up to 4th. There you see Berno out the pits. Gilo is going to be next to set a time. Someone else might improve. I think that was Marty. Marty's gone second, just 200ths off of Schwantz. Oh no, Gilo must have had his lap disallowed at some point. That might disallow it. It has. Or, no, that was Marty. It might be someone else. Mr. Kakzalski. There's a bunch of cars going around the final corner. Try and find one is Kart. Kart another half a second up to 4th place. And Mr. Kakzalski, our championship leader, our comfortable championship leader. There's 2 corners to go. 38.7 is his provisional target. And does he beat that? Doesn't set a time, it must have invalidated. So this track proving quite tricky. Berno, this will be his outlap, presumably. And someone's moved up there, I think that was Vuntz. Yeah. End lap for Berno. Or outlap, sorry. Danny in the pits. Schwantz comes up to the final corner. Is he going to increase the target for everyone to try and match? Doesn't have much fuel left. He doesn't improve. Marty taking it easy. That's got to be an outlap. Danny just out the pits. Car is coming round again. Knocked half a second off last time. He's going to knock any more off this time. 3/10 up to third place. There's less than 2/10 between the top four as it stands. There's JR. Chicano slightly improving. Less than a second between the top 10. Is Mr. Kagzalski finally going to get a time in? He does. 5th place. This is an incredibly close field. There is Berno. What is Chicano going to do in 9th place? Is there going to be a gain in time? No. JR is next. He's in 8th. He'll look to improve. That was an outlap. But Berno, this is a timed lap. He goes 11th. 1.3 seconds between the whole field. Who is going to be next to cross the line? It's going to be Danny. And I believe this is an outlap. It is. There's a lot of cars in the final sector. Vunts being one of them. Finds himself in 7th place. Is there an improvement for the Mercedes? Half a second. 3rd place! That's a great lap from Vunts. Demote's car. And a few others, I think, all the way down to Spence have dropped one. Someone else has jumped up. That's Archie into 4th. Gilo has crossed the line, no improvement. What about Pren? 13th for Pren. Not what you expect of him. That's a car off in the background. I think it was Mr. Kagzalski because he's now back in the pits. What about Berno? Is he going to take inspiration seeing his teammates slap it on the 2nd row? It's 11th place for the Audi. It's now 8th. There's 2/10 between the top 8. If race is anything like the qualifying is currently, we're going to have a great time. JR has just gone through turn 1. Slicker currently holds up the bottom of the grid. We know he's quicker than that. Then again, so is everyone else in the field. They shouldn't really be on the back of the grid. They're all great drivers, but someone has to be there. And Ed Slicker going to try and make sure it's not him. There's an improvement, but not enough. He still has time to go again. Spence on an outlap, I believe. Who is he following? It's Marty in the Ferrari. Schwantz's closest challenger as of yet. Schwantz. He's near enough matching through the first sector. What about championship leader Mr. Kagzalski? This is an outlap. I think if he was 2 minutes down on a genuine lap, his tyres would be frozen. Better not coming out of the pit, slotting in. Okay, Schwantz flying through the middle sector into the Mercedes curve. This next left-hander. See how his time is after the 2nd sector split. There's the fast right-hander of Mobile 1. He's a 10th and a half up. Then it is the sacked curve. Danny, 38.7 just improves. Schwantz needs to hope he keeps that pace up through this final sector as he exits the Sud curve. Is it an improvement? Does he take back pole? He does. Not by as much as he was up, but he does retake pole. Who will be looking to improve? Slicker is off, probably getting out of people's way. As that is one of the Audis going past him. Is Berno. Berno we saw coming out of the pit, so I presume this is his outlap. As he slotted in front of that Ferrari earlier. Marty happy with his efforts, but coming out again. First sector, 700th improvement for Spence. What about JR? One more corner to go. He might have enough fuel for another lap. Doesn't look like he's had the greatest final couple of corners. 3/10 down. He's back in the pits. That is his quali over, and it's currently 11th place. Not what he would be looking for. Chicano gonna make it 12th. Which are not having the same form as last season. Nor would you say is this man out of the Ferrari and into the Lambo. And struggling to make the same title charge as he did last time around. Schwantz has gone pole. Mr. Kagzalski. In fact, Schwantz has improved, sorry. Mr. Kagzalski has snuck up into second. So our championship leader has managed to pull a bit more time out of the bag. Who is going to be first around the final corner? That's always the fun part. It's Pren. 9/10 improvement for Pren. He goes up to 8th. That puts JR down. What about Spence? No improvement for him. Gilo, no improvement. I believe it's Slicker next. He's just starting a lap. There's Marty just starting his as well. Whereas Cart, he's in the middle sector. He's just down in his time. Vunt's about to cross the line. 3/10 down, can go again though. What about Cart? Is there going to be any improvement for the Mercedes driver? No, nothing for Cart. Stays 7th. Now, who's coming around the final corner? It's Chicano. Is he going to move himself up? Fails to do so. Stays 13th. Slicker will be next. So unless Slicker can prove, it's going to be a check slick back row. Is just one more corner to go. If you count this as one, technically 2 corners to go through the Sud curve. Is there any improvement? No, it is a check slick back row. Or if there was improvement, it didn't tell us. But it's Schwantz who takes pole by 3/10 of a second over Mr. Kagzalski, so taking it to our championship leader. Danny up in 3rd, Marty in 4th. Great efforts from Vuntz and Archie to be 5th and 6th. Cart in 7th. Pren 8th. Burno 9th. Gilo in 10th. Spence 11th. JR 12th. He will not be pleased at that one. And Chicano and Slicker at 13th and 14th. It looks like, based on the grid possessions, the Mercedes are enjoying this a lot better than the Lamborghini, certainly. and it being a Mercedes 123 and a Lamborghini 123 at the back. You can see how close the entire field was. Slicker was a bit farther back, but first 13 under a second. Slicker not having a great quali. His middle sector especially suffering. That's where you'd say most of his time is gone. As we're about to get ready for pre-race and then on to our formation lap before 35 racing laps. So we're just waiting here to have them proceed. So while we do that, let's go through the championship standings after Rapuna Park. So Mr. Kakzalski with his 5th place still leads on 158 points. And after his brilliant win, it's Chicano who is in 2nd with 113, with Danny in 3rd on 100, 97 points for Pretton, 86 for Archie, who's put in a great showing in 5th. Spence on 80, 78 points for Cart. Schwantz on 62, just 1 point ahead of Martin on 61. And it's 59 for Vance, 41 for, 59 for Vance, 42 for Gilo, 41 for JR, 38 for Slicker, and 19 for Berno. Super Scrub. No points for him as of yet, and not here tonight, racing at home, still obviously not sorting his technical issues. But that leaves Cart and Mr. Keksalski's team a 71 point lead over Danny and Schwantz's team. So it's looking good for them in both championships. One leading the drivers, a decent lead in the teams. We're still early stages. This is only round 4. It's race 5, but round 4. Since we had the double race back in Rouen. It'll be time for the formation lap. And it's going to be a wet start to the race. These are the conditions the drivers are facing. The sunset as well, so a pretty shiny road. But Schwantz will have the clearest view at it. He fought Mr. Kakzalski all the way for the win back in Spain in our opening round. As hopefully we don't have the same confusion as we did last time around. Thankfully everyone's starting in an order they just remembered. Not reverse championship, where we had a couple of drivers confused about who went where. So warming the tyres on this cold, slidey surface. We're into the final sector now, just a little further to go and we'll be forming up. We're getting hellos in the chat from Mr. Kakzalski and Pren. There they are, they're lining up now. Once they get a little bit out of the final corner, it is up to Schwantz. When they accelerate, it's down to the other 13 to react. All eyes are on him. He's gone early. I think he's caught Mr. Kakzalski out with that one. Mr. Kakzalski's round. Championship leader's round after one corner. It looks like everyone else has got through safe. Slicker also making a bit of an error, it seems. Championship leader round after one turn. Schwantz, dream start. He's got a good lead. Marty over Danny, then it's Vance. Cart fighting away. Archie's having a go at Pren. Archie's round. That's a shame for Archie. Having to wait for Mr. Kakzalski to... Oh, that looked close. But Schwantz, almost 3 seconds already. As Marty's gone deep. The driver's struggling with these conditions. Danny's alongside, but it looks like Marty's had the better traction. Pren up to 6th, and Spence, JR, Burno, Chicano, Slicker, Mr. Kakzalski a bit further back, and then Archie, the two spinners. A dream start. Danny's round. Or something certainly happened. No, it looks like Danny and Marty have come together. Because Danny certainly lost some time. Marty was fully around. So we might be hearing about that one after the race. Gilo in 5th, Spence, and it's JR making a move on Vance into Saxcar. Nice move. In the two chick slip cars, Mr. Kakzalski, then Marty and Archie. But look at the lead Schwantz has on lap 1, 7 seconds. Sebastian Vettel, eat your heart out. Schwantz is showing how it's done on lap 1. 7 seconds is unheard of. Clearly he likes the rain. Yeah, Spence now with JR on his tail instead of Vance. As I think Burno has actually passed Vance. Some progress being made for the Audi. Pren's had a great start up to P3. There's a little Gilo going wide. Oh, contact with Spence on the straight. All sorting itself out. That's wide from Gilo though. Is Spence gonna get the cut underneath? He does. What about JR? JR's also gone underneath. Burno's trying to find a way through. Gilo is squeezing him to the right. Oh, and Gilo looks like he's turned in on Burno there. They're both off into the gravel. Well, from the angles we had, it looked like Gilo hasn't given him room. He was squeezing him right very aggressively. I almost think he thought he'd made him sort of back out of it. But he hadn't, and now they're round. It's been a frantic, dramatic start. JR on the back of Spence pulling out to actually see the corner. And get out of the spray. As it goes wide at turn 1. There's probably going to be a lot of that in these conditions. JR has a good chance. He's in the slipstream. He had a good exit. Coming through Parabolica. He's got the inside. Now it's just a case of braking properly and getting it stopped. Which he hasn't quite. Oh, Spence kind of run him out of road. Remember, I think it was the 2016 German Grand Prix around here. Nico Rosberg got a penalty for the pretty much same thing, squeezing someone out on that corner. I think it was Verstappen. It's almost a carbon copy there. Slicker and Chicano on 7th and 8th. Good progress from them two off the foot of the grid. Mr. Kakdalski, our championship leader, up to 9th already. Marty, who is involved in a crash with Danny. Either that or they went synchronized spinning. We just assume that they were both involved. I think actually, if anything, Chicano and Slicker, they're catching this pair in front of them. Look at Schwantz up front. 1.9 seconds quicker than anyone. The next fastest is Carter behind him, and he's on a 48.0. 1.9 seconds. Schwantz is absolutely running away with this as it stands. And nothing happening for JR, it seems. Or the two Czech-slick cars going to go into combat. Slicker with a run on Chicano. Chicano has the inside. But now they've got Mr. Kagzalski, who we saw at Ruapuna. Is not afraid to make some moves. We also have Greg in the chat, if you remember him from last season. Possibly the unluckiest driver of last season. JR not quite holding onto the back of Spence like he just was. Danny is closed in on the back of Prinz. Ferrari, I think we should be able to see what the drivers can see. Mr. Kakzalski on the back of Slicker. You can see just how much the front is sort of sliding across the track. .3 behind these two. Well, Schwantz is down to a... Is that Slicker going for it on Chicano? No. He needs to be careful in trying that, or whether he's just going there for some reason, or to avoid puddles or anything. He doesn't let Mr. Kakzalski through. In fact, the two Czech cars are beside each other, which doesn't help them. As Mr. Kakzalski is surely going to come and try and get through the pair of them. Oh, it's awful close between the two of them. Is Mr. Kakzalski gonna go clean around the outside? He is. So inter-team squabbling has let Mr. Kakzalski go clean around the outside at the hairpin. And up to P7. Which has already been a good recovery, considering his pre-recovery race lasted one corner. It's Danny, who we believe was involved in a crash with Marty up to 10th. So most of these spinners have made up places, but Archie unfortunately about 8 seconds behind the next car, which is Gilo, who's involved in a crash with Archie's teammate Berno, who's just ahead of him. We can't say for definite, but from our angles it looked like Gilo didn't quite give him room, but other angles could give a totally different story. Now Marty is closed in on the Czech slick cars. And is Marty going to try and take his chance into turn 2? Here's Chicano, sees him coming. Side by side. Not quite as easy in these conditions to do side by side, and Chicano has actually responded by getting back past Marty and holding on to P9. It looks like Mr. Kaksalski is going past Spence into the hairpin. So there's 3 cars in a lap he's passed. We saw Mr. Kaksalski have to recover about 3 times last week. And eventually finished 5th place, but Bernal looks like he's challenging the back of Wuntz's Mercedes. Great qualifying for Wunz. Doesn't look like it's quite translated just yet. Now up front, the gap is actually coming down. 48.1 for Schwantz, 46.6 for Cart. Did Schwantz just make a mistake, or his car stepped up a level?